You are listening to the Becoming the Wealthy You podcast with Jermaine Foley. If you're a woman who makes good money in your career or business, but you're not building wealth like you want to, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll learn how to stop overspending, break free from the cycle of debt, save lots of cash, and become the wealthy woman you were born to be. Let's dive in. Well, hello there. Welcome back to the podcast. Okay, a few weeks ago, I released an episode called The Skill of Having Money, Why You Keep Spending Your Savings. That was actually episode 179. And that episode really hit home for a lot of women. And so after this episode, if you haven't had a chance, I highly recommend you go back and listen to that one. And what I loved about the response wasn't just that people said it was helpful. It was that women were really able to see themselves. They were able to put a name to what was actually happening with their money. Because a lot of women, just like you probably, you know how to make good money, but keeping it, having it, letting it accumulate, letting it stay in your life, that's where a lot of us are struggling. And hearing that just really reminded me of some of the results my clients have created through coaching recently. One client told me that she was able to save over $10,000 while paying off debt and going on multiple vacations that she paid cash for. Another client said she reached her goals without feeling like she was on a rice and beans deprivation plan. She had guilt-free fun, made guilt-free purchases, and finally figured out what she actually enjoyed spending money on. So instead of just spending on any and everything, she figured out what she actually valued spending money on. And that is the work. Not giving up your life, not never enjoying your money, but learning how to stop letting your money come in and go right back out the door. And today, I want to talk about one of the biggest ways money leaves before it ever has a chance to do anything, before it ever has a chance to just sit with you for a minute. And typically, it begins with one of these thoughts. Here's the first one. I'll just pay it off when I get my bonus. Or I'll clean this up when my commission check comes in. Or I'll handle it when my annual incentive arrives. Or I'll catch up when business picks up. Or I'll pay it off when my client pays, right? And if you are someone who gets quarterly bonuses, annual bonuses, commissions, corporate incentives, profit sharings, client payments, contract payments, busy season income, or any kind of money that comes in outside of your regular paycheck, I want you to really, really listen to this episode, because this is one of the reasons high earning women can have amazing income opportunities and still not feel financially ahead. And if this is something you recognize in your own life, this is exactly the kind of work I help my private coaching clients work through. Not just how to make good money, but how to stop using future money to clean up the past so that your income can actually move you forward, right? Because my job is not to teach you how to make more money. Yes, my clients typically, they get raises, bonuses, they go after bigger promotions because of the work we do together. They grow their business. So many things happen when we're working together that grows their income. But that is not the primary point of our work. What my job is to help you to turn that amazing income that you already are so good at making into wealth, to stop letting it come in and go right back out, right? And one of the ways we do that is to stop using future money to justify spending money that you just do not have right now, right? I'm going to say that again. One of the ways we do that is to stop using future money as a way to justify spending money in the present that you do not have. So let's say you see something you really want and you're considering putting it on a credit card. Maybe it's a dress, a trip, a piece of furniture. Maybe it's something for the house or something for the kids. And your brain offers you this thought: I'll just pay it off with my bonus. And I want you to notice what that thought does. It changes the way you feel about the purchase, right? At first, you may have been feeling reluctant, or apprehensive because you're like, I like this dress, it's cute, but I don't know if I should use my cash for it. I don't think I should put it on a credit card. Then I'm going to have to pay it off. You're running through everything in your mind, right? You're negotiating, you're considering. And then a lot of times we're just like on the fence. We're like, I don't know. But then the magic thought happens. I'll just pay it off with my bonus. And that thought right there, it changes how you feel about the purchase. That thought creates reassurance. Your brain says, see, it's fine. You have money coming. You'll be able to handle it. And that reassurance feels like permission to buy it now, permission to put it on the card, permission to say yes, permission to keep spending because future money is coming. And this is where it gets tricky because it does really sound like a plan, right? You're like, yeah, your brain is like, that's very logical. It makes sense. We know the money is coming. You'll just pay it off with the bonus. That sounds very reasonable. It sounds like you've thought it through. It sounds like you have a way to handle it. But what's really happening is that your brain is borrowing from your future so it can justify spending in the present. It's giving you permission to indulge in instant gratification. It's making you feel better about spending in the moment to get that quick dopamine hit, to get that present payoff versus delaying it. And if you listen to it, what will happen is before the windfall ever hits your account, part of it is already spent. And that is the habit I want you to see. The habit of assigning future income to clean up past spending. And this is why so many women will say, I thought this bonus was going to help me get ahead, but I still feel like I'm in the same place. And a lot of times it's because the bonus is already accounted for. It arrives with the job already attached to it. I can relate to this. So in my career, there's quarterly bonuses. Sometimes there's bonuses 3 times a year, whenever they come, right? And I remember when we were deep in debt, when we were living check to check, spending everything we made, I justified it with, don't worry about it. We've got a bonus coming, or we'll pay it off when the bonus hits. Yep, we'll figure it out later. I've got a bonus coming in a couple of months or a couple of weeks or whenever. And that was my justification. That gave me permission to just spend in the moment without regards to things. And I remember one time I used that thought so many times that when the bonus came, it wasn't even enough to cover all the charges we made, right? And so we were still in the hole. And so just like me, you may experience too getting a bonus and it's pretty much all spoken for. And so it doesn't even feel like a bonus anymore, right? And I got to a place where I was just like, here's the thing. I want my bonuses to feel like bonuses. I don't want my lifestyle to be dependent on commissions, bonuses, windfalls, or anything that can fluctuate. Because let's be honest, a lot of times those bonuses are based on performance. They're based on how well the company does. If you have your own business, you could be relying on a busy season. Well, you never know with the economy or something may happen where the business just isn't as busy as you thought it was going to be, or it's not as profitable as you thought it was going to be. And then you're stuck holding the bag like, oh my gosh, I thought it was going to be more, but it wasn't. And I've experienced that personally several times. And so regardless if the bonus was enough for me to cover it or not, the money arrived already accounted for. I had to pay off the cards. I had to clean up the spending that had already happened. I had to clean up decisions that were made before the money even had a chance to settle in my account. So instead of the bonus actually feeling like a bonus, it felt like cleanup money that I just needed to pay back to everybody else. It already was assigned to everybody except for me. But on the flip side of that, I want you to imagine something different just for a minute. Imagine getting a $10,000 quarterly bonus or annual bonus or a client payment or whatever it is for you, and there's nothing on fire. There's nothing for you to clean up. No credit card balance waiting for it. No past spending to account for. No, I already used half of this. Imagine that bonus coming in and you're actually able to decide what to do with it. You could put some in savings. You can invest some. You can put some towards a goal. You can go shopping with some of it. You can pay for a trip, or you can give some away. You can enjoy it on purpose. Go out to a spa day, do a little getaway. So many different things that you can do. This is one of the things I really work with my clients on, getting them to this place where they do have that extra money coming in and it feels like extra money, and then helping them to decide ahead of time what they're going to do with it, right? And I love to use percentages. Okay, we're going to use this percentage for enjoyment. Let's go shopping with this amount. Let's put this percentage in the bank. Let's do this with that other percentage. And when you really think about it, that is a completely different experience, right? An unaccounted for bonus, it gives you options, it gives you freedom, it lets your hard work, because let's really think about it. The bonuses, the commission checks, the client payments, all of that, that's your hard work coming back to you in form of money, right? You've worked hard for it. And when it's unaccounted for already, guess what? You get to decide intentionally and freely what you want to do with it, right? And I really, really want more women who make good money to experience what it feels like to have an unaccounted for bonus. It is the best thing ever. And what I've noticed over the years, that this is one of those Henry problems. You know how sometimes people will say, well, those are rich people problems. This is a Henry problem. And remember, for those of you who don't know what Henry stands for, it stands for high earner, not rich yet. Right? So this is one of the reasons why so many high earning women are Henrys, because you make good money and you often have more opportunities to earn extra money through bonuses, commissions, raises, promotions, profit sharings, etc. Right? If you're a business owner, then you have your business revenue, profit sharings, client contracts, so many different things, busy seasons, and those opportunities are amazing. And if you play your cards right, those are opportunities to catapult your finances light years ahead. Those checks could help build your savings, build your investments, create margin, help you to really enjoy your life more, taking beautiful trips paid for in cash, make major financial moves, upgrades to your home. There's just so many things that you can do. But what happens for a lot of women is that their lifestyle expands into the future income before the money even arrives. So I want you to think of a circle, right? So you think of the inner circle, that's your current finances. That's the current money you have coming in, but you know that there's a bonus coming. So let's put a bigger circle surrounding that inner circle. And so you've expanded your lifestyle to that outer circle. And so when the money actually comes, it doesn't feel like a bonus because it's already accounted for, because you've already expanded your lifestyle to absorb the bonus. And that is something that I would love to see us no longer doing. And this is exactly the kind of patterns we interrupt inside of private money coaching, because most women, again, don't need someone to say, you should use your bonus wisely, right? You already know that. The work is learning how to stop mentally spending your money before it gets there. So when it does arrive, it can actually move you forward so that you can create the financial life you actually want. Now, I want to be super clear about something. I am not against credit cards. Credit cards are a tool. It's okay to put things on your credit card. You might use a credit card for conveniences. You might use it for points or to protect yourself from fraud. You might do what I do, right? Put your regular expenses on it because it's easier to track and you get to get perks from spending on the things you normally buy. And that is not what I'm talking about. There is a difference between using credit cards strategically and using a credit card to spend money you do not actually have yet. Right? So strategic credit card use sounds like this. I already have the money for this. I'm putting it on the card and I'll pay it off in full at the end of the month. I'm not paying any interest. I'm using it for perks, convenience, and protection. That's it. That is from a different place, right? Now, if you're using credit cards because you don't have the money for it right now, but you know a bonus is coming, that one is how the debt cycle starts. That is how you start spending your future money today. That is the habits that we work to break inside of money coaching so that you're not expanding your lifestyle beyond the money you currently have. You're not spending your future income today. Because when you use credit cards that way, it's no longer a tool, it's a trap, right? It's a trap that it's very, very hard to get out of. And it becomes permission for you to spend now and pay later. And when that keeps happening, the credit card debt, not only does it grow, but even after you pay it off, it keeps coming back. So every time you get a bonus, it's already spoken for. This becomes a cycle. It's not just a one-time thing that you use your bonuses to pay off your cards. It becomes how you do it every year. I've seen it time and time before with my friends, with clients, and with just people in my life in general, where every time they get their annual bonus, it's already accounted for. And then the next year, they do it again and again and again. It's a vicious cycle that never ends, and it's because of what I just described. So you may be asking, okay, Jermaine, I see myself in this, so what do we do? First, you have to catch the thought. You have to become aware of your thought patterns. Thoughts like, I'll just pay it off with my bonus. I'll clean it up when my commission checks comes in. I'll deal with it when the client pays. You need to become aware of what your thoughts are that helps you to justify spending your future income, right? And so once you start being aware of that thought, you can catch it. And when you can catch it, then you can ask yourself a question. I love to ask myself questions that just make me pause, that just makes me just think for a moment, because that's all you need to make a different decision. You just need a pause so that you can kind of get back in control of your thinking and make a different decision. I'll give you a quick example of how this recently happened. When I was at Walmart with my son dorm shopping, or shopping for his apartment actually, and he was putting things in the cart. I need this. I want to decorate with this. I need this. Do I need a plant? And then he simply asked me this question. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stealing that. And I'm going to ask myself this question every single time I find myself in this shopping loop that I feel like I can't break myself out of. He said, is this just dopamine? Is this just dopamine? Like all the things we were adding, is this just dopamine? And when he asked that question, because we were kind of both feeding off of each other, I was just like, yes. And then we just started putting stuff back. We only bought the things that he absolutely needed, the things that made his place more comfortable. All the other extra stuff got put back. And so I found myself using this another time when I was at a store by myself right after that. And I asked myself, I was just like, is this dopamine? And I was like, yes, this is dopamine. And I was just out the door. I didn't buy anything. So for you, the question is, do I want to use the fact that money is coming in the future to give myself permission to spend today? I know that's long, so tweak it to make it work for you. Do I want to use the fact that money is coming in the future to give myself permission to spend today? Right? Or do I want to use the fact that a bonus is coming to buy this? Something simple. Something like, am I using the fact that a bonus is coming to justify buying this? Something that'll make you stop and pause. You come up with what works for you. For us, is this dopamine? That's 3 words. Is this dopamine? You can ask yourself something. Is this because I have a bonus coming? Or whatever it is. You know you better. Something you can remember. Something that will kind of give you that moment to pause, because that is what you need. You just need a sliver of a pause to break the cycle so that you can think about what you're doing and get back in control. Again, that one question can slow everything down, because sometimes the answer is going to be yes, but most of the time the answer will probably be no. And this does not mean that you can never buy the dress. It doesn't mean that you can never take the trip. And it definitely doesn't mean you can never enjoy your money. You know that I don't teach that. If you've been listening to me for a long time or just a short period of time, you know that I believe in the do both philosophy. That means you build wealth and enjoy life at the same time. But if the only way to enjoy your life is to borrow from your future income, then we really need to be honest about what that is creating. Because the goal is not to stop enjoying your life. The goal is to stop making future income responsible for present instant gratification. Because what I really would love for all of you to experience is this. I would love for you to know what it feels like for extra money to really feel extra, right? I would love for your bonuses to feel like bonuses. I would love for you to experience your commissions feeling like a windfall, or your incentive checks feeling like breathing room, right? Or your busy season, when it comes, it is there to move you forward, not to clean up the past. because there is such a different feeling when money comes in and you're not trying to clean up the past or you're not feeling behind. You get to breathe, you get to decide, you get to plan, you get to ask yourself, what do I want to do with this money? And from that place, you can choose how you want to enjoy it. And I think you should enjoy it. Enjoying it is part of life. That is the point. You want to be able to build wealth and enjoy your life, but you want to prioritize both, okay? And this is how you can start becoming a woman who doesn't just make good money, but actually keeps more of it, manages it well, and builds wealth with it. And that is the goal. That is the reason why the name of this podcast is Becoming the Wealthy You. So if you're listening to this and thinking, this is me, oh my gosh, I get bonuses, commissions, extra money, client wins, and they disappear before I even have a chance to know what I want to do with them. This is exactly the kind of work we do inside of private money coaching. Coaching helps you to get from where you are financially to where you want to be, not just knowing what to do, because we all know what we should be doing. This is not about more information or knowledge, because you can get all of that on YouTube and books. The problem isn't that you don't know what to do. You know what to do. I knew what to do. But the problem is getting yourself to do it consistently and becoming the person who just does it automatically without having to think about it. That is what coaching does. It helps you to become someone different with money. So if that sounds like something that is interesting to you, you are invited to book a one-to-one money coaching consultation. During that consultation, we'll look at where you are, where you want to be, and how I can help you to get there. All you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/consult. That's Jermaine with a G, foley.com/consult to book your consultation, or you can go to the show notes and click the link there. Right? We'll look at where you are, where you want to go, and how coaching will help you to become the woman who no longer overspends, to become the woman who gets out of debt and stays out, to become the woman who can save $10,000, $20,000, or $30,000 in her savings and not feel the need to spend it down unless she has a reason to, right? You become the woman who knows how to manage money, how to take care of it, and how to be good with it. That is what coaching is. And if that is what you want, again, all you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/consult. That's Jermaine with a G, foley.com/consult, or you can go to the show notes. All right. I will see you all next week. Bye-bye. Hey, if money is the one area of life you just can't seem to figure out, even though you make good money, you're not alone. That's why you're invited to book a complimentary one-to-one money consultation with me so that we can figure out how to solve your biggest money challenges. To sign up, simply go to jermainefoley.com/consult or check out the show notes. Hope to meet you soon.